Ah, shit. Here we go
Yeah.
again.
Oh, man.
3 straight L's. Not where we want to be, 8-6, but I got to tell you what. I'm not as depressed as I was the last 2 weeks. The Chargers game, I was miserable.
Blue.
Niners game, I was miserable. This game was a disgusting feeling after the game, obviously. But at least we looked like a real football team again. At least the offense looked back. Tua looked back. At least we looked like a football team again. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the loss sucks, and we're really not a podcast that prides ourselves on, moral victories, but honestly, it felt like one. 7-point underdogs going into Buffalo before the season started. Did any of us here say we're going to sweep the Bills? Nope. I don't think many Dolphin fans came into this season thinking we're going to sweep Buffalo. Now, obviously, there's some fans out there that are overly optimistic, and we're like, yeah, we're going to sweep them. Tip my cap to you. Your wish almost came true. But I believe 99% of fans said we're going to split this year. And that's exactly what we did. We were 7-point underdogs on the road up against the Buffalo Bills and had an 8-point lead in the fourth quarter. Now, yes, I'm going to sit up here. I'm going to criticize Mike McDaniel. I'm going to tell Trent Sherfield to walk home from Buffalo. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into all the negatives because that's what happens when you lose. Everyone wants to hear us bitch and complain. And we have to get it out because if you don't get it out, it just builds up and it's not good for you. You just got to get it out of your system. But I got to tell you what, I have never had my confidence almost reassured after a loss like I did after Saturday night. I told you guys before, after the game ended, I sat on my couch. I was frozen. I was like, oh my gosh, we should have won the fucking game. But at the same time, I said, I can't wait for Green Bay, and I can't wait to witness the can of whoop ass we're going to open up on them because we almost swept the fucking Bills in their own house under their own conditions with no excuses. And that's one of the best teams in football. So I'm just glad that we look competent again. But I would be lying to everyone here if I told you that I didn't feel more confident about this team even after that loss.
Dude, what a fucking game. I mean, I was in the building. It was perfect other than the loss, obviously, but just two good football teams going toe-to-toe, play for play. It was an unreal game. It was an unreal game to be at. And then the fourth quarter, the snow just starts pouring in out of nowhere. It was like a movie. It was fucking picture perfect. But we got the L, man. It was a great game, and it was one of those losses you can kind of be like, okay, well, at least we went out there, put on a good game, went toe-to-toe with the team that's the number one team in the AFC right now. We came up short. That happens in the NFL. That happens. It sucks. Am I happy about it? Absolutely not. But it does kind of give you a better feeling about where this football team is heading forward because that California road trip was disgusting, man. Those were games you watch and you're like, I don't know if this Dolphins football team ever wins again. Like, I don't know what I'm seeing. But in this game, you at least got to see, okay, Tua can play in the cold weather. We can run the ball. The defense, we could talk about the defense, but players came to play, and it was a great game. We came up short. That's how it goes.
Before you go, Jay, that game proved to me that we're on the same level as them. Mm-hmm. We beat them at home. We barely lost to them on the road. Are you guys petrified to play them again in the playoffs? No, I'm licking my chin.
Want them.
I want that. I want to run that back. I want that back because I believe Mike McDaniel is going to learn from his stupid fucking mistake not running the ball on 3rd and 1 on the Bills' 15-yard line with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. But we'll get into that later. But I'm not scared of the Bills. I'm not scared of fucking anyone in the AFC. I'm just glad that we look like a football team again. It's everyone in the chat. Cap, you know I love you. Moral victories don't get us in the playoffs, but the Jets losing, the Ravens losing, the Patriots losing, that does and that will. And our playoff chances nearly tripled. Now, obviously, if we won, we probably could clinch next week and we'd still be playing for the division. But our playoff chances are solidified if we win 2 of the next 3. And after what I saw on Saturday, I'm very confident we can do that. Frankie, again, I love you too, brother. We didn't need that win. We wanted that win. We needed it if we wanted to make some crazy run to win the division, but we didn't need it to get into the playoffs. We got to win 2 out of the next 3, and we're in, and I'm confident as ever that we could do that. Like Bobby said last week, I didn't think we'd win another game. Now I'm back to thinking we could go toe-to-toe with everyone. And look, it's the NFL. It's a week-to-week thing, but we looked like a football team again. The offense looked back. Now the defense, again, we're going to get into all of that shit. But no, it was not that we needed it. We just wanted it, and we had it in our hand, and they took it away from us in the last second. So, Jay, what'd you think?
Pull up Cap's second last comment. I just want to say, blaming the referees is excuses. Dude, blaming the coaching is not an excuse. He's very well part of the team. Like, I don't know what you're on about with that. Like, the coach is very well part of the team. He's calling plays on both sides. That's what coaching is. So referees, I get that's not an excuse. Like, putting games on coaching, saying there's bad coaching, that's fully a part of the team. Anyways, I feel like I need to explain why I'm in a car right now. I'm just driving home, but no one can say I'm not committed to the fucking show. I just pull off the highway so I can, plug in the laptop, get on my fucking hotspot, and we're here. We're live, baby.
Shit, Jay.
So let's get it. But with that being said, man, I was blue after that game. And the worst part, I'm sitting right next to a Bills fan. He was right there with me on the stream. And I'm like, I'm up 29-21, going crazy. Like, yeah, fuck you. Tua just threw a dot to Tyreek in the end zone. I'm like, yeah, here we go. And our defense cannot get a stop. 5 minutes and 56 seconds left in the game. And the Bills used up all that time and drive down the field and score. That's on the field goal.
You're 100% correct there, Jay. They didn't get a stop on that drive, but you know what they did do? JP got a strip sack fumble. The offense takes it all the way down. And when you have an opportunity to go up 2 scores and it's 3rd and 1 and you're averaging 8 yards a pop, why are you throwing the football? The first time made no sense in the first quarter. The second time, it was 2 drops. I'll give you the pass. One of those should have been caught. But you're going to do the same fucking thing 3 times in the same game in the fourth quarter with 9 minutes left on the Bills' 11-yard line. You're Mike McDaniel. Even if you don't get it, you're not going to lose 4 yards on the fucking handoff. Even if you don't get it, you go for it again. Or you take the points, but at least you run it once. You can't make the same mistake 4 times. And I get it. The defense could not get off the field. Again, I'm not giving the defense a pass. I am not going to do
450 yards allowed.
They should have got it. It was 3rd and 17 fucking twice, and they were able to get the first down. But my gosh, JP comes up with a huge play, fumble.
Huge.
I was all the way down. And honestly, I know Josh Allen's a beast. I'm not saying the Bills couldn't do it, but if you go up 13 points there, you might have just put the fucking game away. But instead, you try to get cute and you make the same mistake 3 times in one game. I can't let that slide.
I agree wholeheartedly, bro. And I was just watching it from the stands. Okay. I was just watching it from the stands. Run the ball. I was saying out loud repeatedly, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. And then we do that out route to Tyreek on the side, or we try and do that little switch to like the fullback. And I'm just thinking to myself, there's got to be something better for 3rd down than that. Just run it. Just run the football. Or if you are going to pass it, I hated that option that it was just the out route. It was a 1-read out route throw. That was it. It just drove me crazy at certain times, man. Some of that play calling, and it hurts because it felt like for a lot of that game, we were the better team. And that might be bias coming from me and us as Dolphins fans. But, like, I was getting that sense we are the better football team out here right now. We are the better team. But, hey, man, that's the NFL. That's something.
Raheem Mostert had 110 rushing yards in the first half. We gave him 6 carries in the second half.
Yeah.
What are you doing? It makes no sense. We're pounding the rock down their throat.
No, and you hinted at the Smoke, and I got to lay into him because this is the thing I'm most pissed about. Sorry, lights going down up here in Canada. I'm trying to keep some light on in the car, but I need to talk about this, and you hinted at it. One of the times he threw in goal twice, and Tua throws 2 dimes, and people are trying to say they're not dimes, bro. I don't get it. You're certified haters. You are certified haters because that's the exact right spot. On the Tyreek throw, Tua moves right in the pocket, makes something happen, right into Tyreek's hands. And if you're top 1 receiver, you make that fucking catch. God, if you're a depth receiver, you make that catch. But if you're a top 5 receiver like Tyreek Hill is, you make that catch.
Top 1.
Number 2, Trent Sherfield. Make a fucking grab. Terrible. And I just pulled it up, and I'm pissed because now it's becoming not just a pattern, not just a trend. It's a real issue. We are 2nd in passes dropped as a team in the entire NFL. We're 2nd in passes dropped. Terrible. And by player, you know who it is? Waddle's tied for 2nd, and Tyreek's right after him. That's where we're at. It's becoming a legitimate issue. Like a legit issue. And it needs to be fixed. Because early in the game, not before the third downs, Tua was throwing dimes. And by the way, and I want to say this too, in the cold, people talked about how in the Chargers, Mike McDaniel might have got out coached, but people were so blaming Tua, rightfully so. But they're saying, we don't care if Mike McDaniel can't scheme you open. We need the quarterback to do something, right? That's what people were saying. And 3 times, maybe 4 times actually, because I think it was 6 drops total in this game, it was tight coverage everywhere. And Tua moves around in the pocket and he lays a dime where even though it's tight coverage, it's right on the receiver's chest or hands. And you have to make those catches. Cedric Wilson, Trent Sherfield, and Tyreek Hill. And Jalen Waddle for the rest of the season. Not in this game, but for the rest of the season. Drops have become a legitimate issue. They're a legitimate problem that they've cost us games. So that's something that needs to be fixed. And it was huge because the Dolphins did this in an end goal situation twice. And guess what? That 3 versus 7 points lost us the game. Just as much as the Mike McDaniel poor coaching, just as much as the defense allowed 450 yards and 29 points and 32 points, but the drops were ridiculous.
100%. And here's my thing too. If you're coming out here and crucifying Tua for why we lost, dude, I have nothing to say to you. Because me and Bobby and even Jay, we absolutely ripped him the last 2 weeks.
I ripped him for the 49ers game.
He played like absolute dog shit. He played good. So. Tua played good. He made good plays. He made good throws. He didn't turn the ball over once. He was dropping dimes that throw to Tyreek in the end zone.
In the snow.
Fantastic. The ball to Sherfield should have been caught. The one to Hill should have been caught. But if you're going to sit up here and say he's the reason why we lost, no. And look, do the Bills have Josh Allen? Yes. Yes, and that's probably why they won the game. But that shouldn't be used as a knock for why Tua sucks. Or that shouldn't be used as a knock to say why we lost because Tua's not Josh Allen. No one's Josh Allen.
He's so good,
Josh
dude.
Allen's his own fucking beast. He's a menace. He's a elite.
He's unreal.
Mahomes isn't Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. It's impossible. He's 6'5", 250. He can hurdle. He can run you over. He can launch the ball 80 yards on the field. He can't do that. But just because Tua doesn't do that doesn't mean he didn't play good enough to win the game. He played great. He made big-time throws, even in the snow. And if we catch one of those balls in the end zone, or if Mike McDaniel has a normal-sized brain that doesn't outthink himself, and he runs the fucking ball on 3rd and 1 like any other football team in the world would do when you're averaging 8 to 9 yard pops a game, the Dolphins probably win that game, are 9-5, and still have a shot at the division. The last 2 games you could pin on Tua. The last one you could pin on Tua and McDaniel. But in my opinion, 90% of the blame goes on McDaniel and the other 10 goes on the defense. Maybe you could put a little more on the defense. I'd honestly say 70-30 because even though the defense was bad, like that those play calls were abysmal, like on 3rd down. And look, this is not me hating on McDaniel. This is me calling him out on his bullshit. He's going to be a phenomenal head coach. Phenomenal head coach. He is a first-year head coach. These are growing pains. Earlier in the year, it was clock management. Now, later in the year, he's just being a fucking prick on 3rd down. Instead of running the ball, he tries to get too cute. Even the first drive. 3rd and 1, play action. Tua gets sacked. And we lose 10 yards. Like you should. We know you're Mike McDaniel, and if we know you go for it every single time, run the damn ball. Because then it'll be 4th and inches or whatever the hell you got to do. And you could call that stupid play where the tight end comes in, takes a snap under center, and you're going to get the first down. Point blank.
Let me just add to the coaching too. And I'm not trying to pin it because it was very on Mike McDaniel. Like I'm agreeing with you. I just want to add on. Dude, Josh Boyer needs to step the fuck up. And it's so hard to be critical when he's missing Brandon Jones, Byron Jones, Ogba, Needham. Like it's hard to be critical. But dude, whatever you're doing is not working. Every 3rd down, we can't get off the field. And I know we can't run press man because of the guys we have, but you also can't run 12 yards off, like playing soft coverage because teams are just going to beam you short passing. We saw in the Chargers game and we saw in this game again. They're just going to beam you underneath. That's all that's going to happen. And it's tough. By the way, Clay Fedgelum, I don't know why he saw the field at all. He gave up 60 yards. That's Kyle Crabtree.
Yeah,
why is he on the field? Doesn't make any sense. Roe McKinley, like even he's not that good, but he's better than Clay Fedgelum.
Question. Honestly. Because you're a huge Tua guy. I mean, me and Bobby love Tua, but like you are a diehard stan. Like It's fine, and I have no problem.
I
with
kill
that.
him though when he needs to be killed. I kill
No,
him
of
when he has to
course,
play
and that's
the
why I
game.
respect you more than almost anyone because we love him. We're good when he plays good, give him flowers. When he plays bad, give him shit. It is what it is. Hold people accountable.
That's
At the
how
end
it
of the day,
goes.
it's all love. But here, last year, we kind of gave Tua. Well, most people gave Tua a pass. Why? Because he had Jesse Davis.
Nothing,
He's
yeah.
throwing to Matt Collins, Isaiah Ford, all these Lynn Bowden
Who
scrubs.
was calling play smoke? Just tell me, and I'll.
No, we didn't
like,
even know. We had two
exaggerate.
coordinators. Exactly. But now, are you giving Boyer the same pass with all the starters that he doesn't have?
So here's the issue for me is that even with all the starters out, it's a different situation because you still have ballers, bro. Because even Bradley Chubb, he's being misused. Jalen Phillips is dropping back into coverage. Have you seen what this guy's doing? It's ridiculous. Xavier Howard is a press man corner. He's playing 12 yards off coverage. And people are saying he looks like shit, which he has. That's because he's being misused. How can you expect a guy who thrives in jamming guys at the line because you're not that fast? And Xavier has said this himself in a quote I remember. He says, I make people play to my speed. That's how he plays corner. He's not that fast. So the issue for me, and I'm not saying he's good because he's had a tough year. I'm just saying when guys are being misutilized and when you're playing off coverage, they're just going to be underneath. The thing for me is the lack of adjusting. That's the issue for
Yes,
me.
that's the word right there. Lack of adjustment. That's what it is for me.
Because
But that's the problem, and I feel like that's why he has to misuse people because he doesn't have people playing where they should be playing. Like X is a press man corner, but who else is? Like,
no, I
that's
agree.
the only guy I
for
trust,
sure.
you know. So it's tough.
But you gotta explain to me why Jalen Phillips is dropping into coverage at any point in time. You gotta explain it to me.
Yeah, that make like that. I'm on board with you, but I could see X playing 12 yards off because the
And
other
by the
three
way,
corners have no
I
ability
sound
to
like a
cover man.
simpleton. I get people are gonna say 3-4 linebacker drop to coverage. You're trying to be mysterious. I get that shit. But also, I haven't seen Boyer make one adjustment other than putting more guys on the line of scrimmage and throwing that zero look. Tell me one other adjustment this guy has made. Like,
Boyer should be
please.
crucified, dude. I mean, I'll give you guys a question. Where do the Miami Dolphins rank in points allowed in the AFC?
Last.
Dead fucking last.
This
We
is an
are the
offensive
worst
team
team
now.
in the AFC East or in the AFC at allowing points. At some point, that's not good enough, bro. I get the injuries and they're down guys. Fuck that, dude. You at some point have to be able to keep points off the board. When your offense goes out and puts up 29 points, you win the turnover battle. You win the time of possession battle. You win the penalty battle, and you can't win the game. At some point, you have to really give it to the defense. And yeah, could Tua be better in certain spots? Sure. But there's in no way, shape, or form should people be putting blame on Tua for a game like this. Some other ones, definitely. And we've done it rightfully so. But for me, this game was the defense. They try and play bend, don't break like we have all year. It's not working because it's breaking every fucking
Well,
time.
it's not working against Josh Allen.
just break.
I mean, even the play at the end of the half, he made
Not
one of
working
the
against
dumbest
anybody.
decisions. One of the dumbest decisions a quarterback can make. 8 seconds
But
left.
what is
before the
Jerome Baker
half ends.
doing though? Like, what is
He scrambles, kills the whole clock, and still torches it for a touchdown. It's just stupid. It's dumb. No, and there is just no adjustment. There is absolutely no adjustment, and that's been the thing. Like he keeps
On
running
both
the
sides of
same
the ball.
defense as if it's 2020. Like it's not the same.
No, the Chargers game
I
was
just
the worst
wanna-
example of
Yeah.
what Boyer's done this year. I thought he was terrible in that game. It's been bad. The defense altogether has been bad. Has there been playmakers stepping up on sides of the defense, absolutely fighting their balls off? Absolutely. So that's why sometimes when we give the defense like this hate, it's like I'm hating on them as a unit, as a whole. But there's some studs that are fucking putting on a show out there week in and week out.
Christian, JP,
Sealer,
Zach.
and Sealer.
yes,
Those four guys.
are
But other than that, it's
dogs.
nothing.
Yep.
Maybe
Yeah, I
Cater.
agree.
Throw Cater out there too. He's been balling.
Yeah,
too.
he's been making some plays.
give
We got
Cater
we
credit.
got we got 90. We got 100 people watching live already. If you guys haven't already, please hit the like button. It is absolutely free. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We're trying to hit 5K subs.
Woo.
Only way we could do that is with your guys' help. And if you want to donate to the channel, help us grow, go ahead, hit us with a super chat, or you can hit us up on Cash App or Venmo at Nikki Smokes 1. So, do we want to keep ripping the team, or should we talk about some positives?
I just want to
Let's get
hit
it all
the
out.
Tua Cole narrative real quick. We were talking about Tua. I just wanted to finish that off. You don't mind?
All right, I'll allow it.
Real quick, just real quick. In the cold, He goes 17 for 30, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Now, here's the thing. 6 of those are drops. I'm putting them in perspective. I'm not even trying to be that guy. 2 of them were drops, or 6 of them were drops. 2 of them were for touchdowns. He probably should have had a third touchdown. Not to mention, someone said in the chat, I don't remember who. I was going to say it anyways. Braylon Sanders, one, why is he on the field?
Why
Two,
are we throwing it to him on third down?
No, but what the fuck are we doing on that route, Braylon? You got to explain to me. Instead of running your route, which you created separation on, which is why Tua gave you a shot, he throws a perfect pass. And no one can convince me otherwise. It's a perfect ball. And he turns around and tries to high point it like he's Randy Moss. And then the ball's overthrown. Everyone's going, damn, it was overthrown. No, it was perfect. If he just keeps running and catches it over the shoulder, it's a touchdown. And some of my friends talking to me like, oh, that's a tough catch over the shoulder. I'm like, dog, this isn't a high school ball, man. This is an NFL wide receiver. When you throw the ball over the shoulder, it's an easy catch for these guys. It's an NFL receiver. So I don't know what he's doing turning around. It was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. So shout out to the Raiders too, man. The stiff arm on Mac Jones, chef's kiss.
Gotta talk about that.
Wait, quick question. What's worse, being a Colts fan or being a Patriots fan that day?
I was probably a Colts fan though.
Patriots thought they were going to the playoffs still. They thought Mac was their guy. You know,
Dude,
Colts had no expectations.
No, but the biggest lead of all time is nuts. That's nuts.
But it's still Matt Ryan. It's like the most Matt Ryan thing of all time. I just think as a Patriots fan, it's comedy. Like if you're a Patriots fan, you have to feel like a fucking idiot.
85th Pro.
That has to be the worst play I've ever seen in my entire life. Absolute fucking
hilarious.
Bonehead. And like you said, Bobby made a great point. They genuinely thought they had a shot at the playoffs. And that play probably ended their whole playoff hopes. Completely dead, squandered. And Mac Jones getting stiff-armed to the fucking dirt just made it so much better.
He got bitched. Let's be honest. Let's call it what it is. He got bitched.
I couldn't believe what I was watching when I was watching that live on TV. And then to see Mac just get stiff-armed into the crust of the earth. He had zero shot at making that play. Just get stiff-armed. Game over. I can only imagine what Belichick was saying to those boys in the locker room. Holy shit. At least, hey, we might have caught our L. At least we went out noble, fighting for it every inch. The Patriots got fucking embarrassed. Mac Jones got stiff-armed. Holy shit. I'm glad we could at least laugh at someone else's pain.
Yeah, no, I was just going to...
Are we done with our pain or no?
No, I was just going to say the last thing is Tua's ended...
No, you had your last thing. You talked about the cold.
No, you get it.
Tua beat the cold narrative. I'm with you. I'm glad.
And I'm confident with him heading into these big games, late in the season.
Okay, well, we will get the answer to that. If he chokes those games, we have a major problem.
Okay,
but I don't think he will. I'm confident in him. We'll save that. Bobby, you had to drive 3 hours home after because of the snow, the traffic. I could tell you're still upset. It's important to get it out. What else is on your mind?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'll talk about my experience at the game. I didn't have a ton of asshole Bills fans this time. Of course, the time I'm trying to get stories, videos. I did have one guy in the parking lot make a Smoke comment. And I said, oh, Smoke, you know him? He's like, that's the kid with the Bills video, right? And I was like, yeah, do you have a message you want to send to him? And he was like, oh, that kid's this. And I go, word, no problem. I pulled my phone out. I was like, let's tell him the message then. And I went to FaceTime you. And he's like, oh, no. And he just stopped talking. And I was like, all right, if you don't want to say it to him, then why are we going to keep making comments? Because I'll put him on the FaceTime. That's no problem. But he had nothing to say, man. The Bills fans weren't terrible. It was one kid, bro. At one point, I don't know how this kid got next to me because he wasn't next to me all game. All of a sudden, he's next to me and he just keeps poking me in the shoulder saying, you think Tua's cold? You think Tua's hands are cold? You think Tua's hands are cold? You think Tua's hands are cold? He said it probably 20 times. And I just get into a mode where I don't even acknowledge him. I was just head forward, ignoring him. Then Tua throws the touchdown to Tyreek 5 seconds later, bro. I got in this motherfucker's face so bad. I grabbed him and I was like, you want to poke me one more fucking time? You think he's fucking cold? And dude, my Bills friend behind him got to the point where he's like, yo, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm going to punch you in the back of your head. So, nothing crazy. That's a normal experience at the Bills game. So it wasn't too bad. The snow, unbelievable. Trying to leave that stadium, though. I live an hour away, roughly an hour. Took me 3 hours to get home. Snowy roads, feeling like we were going to crash every 4 seconds. It was brutal. But I mean, I'll be back there in January because it's inevitable. We've seen the percentages and how it's going to go down. We're going to end
Josh
up back
Allen
there in
said it.
January, and it's going to be the same trip up to Buffalo, but we're coming to get ours this time, bro. We have to get ours this time.
And that's a perfect transition. So, look, we just lost 3 games in a row. We're obviously depressed. We're not happy. No one wants to sit here and fucking lose. And I think we can all agree that not the Buffalo game, but the 2 games before were the absolute worst games that we've seen since 2019. Correct? We could all agree? Okay. Now, even with that said, we lost the Chargers by a score, and we had an opportunity to take the lead in San Francisco with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and that I don't even know what happened with the Mike Gesicki thing. But my point is this. We played our 2 worst games. One was against the Niners, who were a Super Bowl favorite. Could have won the game. Next game was against the Chargers, where I don't know who the hell was playing quarterback.
Playing for their playoff lives, though.
I don't know who the hell was playing quarterback that game. And we still could have thrown a touchdown and won the game. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? But at least there was a woulda, and at least there was a coulda, and at least there was a shoulda. Because none of those 3 options should have been available those 2 games. And then you go on the road into Buffalo in their environment, snow, ice cold, you name it, it's there. We're up by 8 fucking points in the fourth quarter. Now, it's a heartbreaker. And me and Bobby talked about that before. I was like, obviously, we'd rather it be a close game, but when you're watching it, you'd rather just lose by 40 than lose a heartbreaker like that. Because you just thought you should have won. We went into the game thinking we weren't going to win. And then we went into the fourth quarter thinking, oh my God, we're going to win. And then we just got our hearts ripped out. But just call it what it is. We survived. We didn't survive. We didn't win a single game. But we were still in every single game, even when we weren't playing our best football. And it sucks because those teams are obviously playoff teams, this and that. But I think it could have been worse. And it's crazy. It's crazy. If we got blown out by Buffalo, it couldn't get any worse. But us going into Buffalo, finding our offense, finding our, I guess, identity again, gives me a lot more confidence playing Green Bay, playing at New England, and playing at home against the Jets. Do you guys have the same feeling?
Somewhat. You get a good feeling seeing the team go out there and compete like that and just know that that's one of the best teams in the NFL right there, point blank. You just went toe-to-toe with them. You already beat them once in the season. You went toe-to-toe, and you came up a little short. You can conceptualize that as one individual moment and just be like, okay, if I just saw that, I could live. But when it's 3 in a row, it does raise some red flags for me a little bit. When it's 3 in a row and it's it's the 3-game stretch, everyone circled at the beginning of the season and said, circle, this is going to show who the Dolphins are. And newsflash,
great point.
They went out and lost all 3 of them. So it raises a lot of red flags. And you do bring up a good point. All 3 of them were close, could have been wins. But it's just frustrating. That makes it more frustrating for me because good teams go out and win at least one of those games. Give me at least one of those games. But in all of those games, there was 1 or 2 plays that could have made difference. It could have been a dub. So it's conflicting. And if you want to look at it with a positive shoulder, glass half full, you can say, oh, yeah, we were right there. If you want to be negative, you say you just took your biggest 3-game stretch of the season, shit it out in the toilet, didn't get a single dub, and now you got to keep going.
Well, I think both of those points are very fair. I think they're both true, which is the thing. Yeah. The 3 biggest games, we lost all 3. Does that make me feel good? Absolutely not. But what does make me feel good is that even when the Dolphins are playing at their absolute worst, they're still within a score heading into the fourth quarter. There's got to be something out of there. And I'm just glad it's happening now instead of in the playoffs. If they lose any of the next 3 games, I think it's concerning. Now, I know I said earlier, all you have to do is win 2 out of the next 3 to get in. But realistically, we should win the next 3 games. We should control our own destiny, win the next 3 games, try to get the 5 seed, and beat the Titans or maybe even the Jaguars. Straight up. I think that's the new course of action. That's the way you have to look at it. We lost the 3 that everyone circled, but now we have to win the next 3 that no one had circled because no one thought Week 18 against the Jets was going to have any playoff implications. I mean, it really doesn't have as much anymore as it did last week because the Jets lost. But these next 3 games, these are the new 3 big games. This decides right now, right here, if you get in or not. Point blank, period.
Yeah. And real quick, Jay, before you go, I just want to – I think this comment is brilliant from Terry. This is part of a rookie head coach, and this is part of the growing pains, learning those in-game situations, learning those adjustments, learning how to just go win. McDaniel's never done it before. It's his first year. Am I giving him a full-blown pass? You'll be okay, Mike. You'll figure it out. No, I'm still going to hold him accountable and demand better from him. But realistically talking, he should get better. That's what comes with coaching all these years. That's why you have these GOAT coaches that stick around for so long, because they have that experience and they know, oh, I've been in this position 25 times. Here's the way out of it. Here's the playbook. Go ahead and do it. Let's get the win. McDaniel just doesn't quite have that yet. So I thought that was a great point, Terry.
We don't know how to win games. We just haven't.
Sounds crazy, but it's true.
We have done early in the year. We beat Buffalo in a big game. You know, we came back against Baltimore. But here's what I'll say: while McDaniel has not been on his top shit recently, I think the way he's gone about coaching, I'm very confident about him going forward. I'm very confident about his ability to get this experience. Which, by the way, people just forget it's his first time actually play calling because he was behind Shanahan in San Francisco. So I think it's all going to come together. Obviously right now it's not great. I'm not trying to defend him in terms of what's happening right now. But for a rookie head coach, this is about the best you could ask for, to be honest with you. The fact that that's the stuff we're complaining about at this juncture is pretty good. Now, obviously it's in big moments and it's costing us games right now. But for him to get that experience, for him to continue to be an elite coach, which is what he's projected to be, honestly, right now, that's what I would say. We're in a good spot. So I'm still riding with Daniel, all that type of stuff, but he does have some stuff to clean up, as we all know, as Bobby touched on. With that being said, and this kind of goes for the same thing, which is what I'm going to say now. Yeah, we might have lost 3 in a row, and god damn it, I wanted that last one real bad. Oh, I wanted it. I wanted that one bad, especially watching that game. Very winnable. Very, very winnable. I will say
up 8, brother. Up 8 in the fourth.
Gave me confidence.
Should have been up 13.
Should have been up 13. Should have been up. Braylon Sanders catches a touchdown, maybe. One of those. Anyways,
Tyree catches a touchdown.
With that being said, I'm so confident that we're going to go 3-0 to end this year. I am so confident that we're going to do that, because if we play just 90% or 80% of how we did against Buffalo in these next few games, we'll win every game by at least a touchdown. If we play like that, because that was fantastic in terms of the effort. And it gives me confidence that we will go 3-0. I think we can beat the Packers at home. I think we beat. Tua's been New England's. You think Josh Allen's been our daddy? Tua's been New England's daddy ever since he got into the league. And then I think our players are up for that Jets game after seeing them do the waddle on us, all that bullshit with Skylar Thompson playing quarterback, who we know is not that good.
Armstead or X.
I think we're going to whoop the Jets. I think Tua has never lost to the Patriots. And I think the way this team is playing, we can easily go out and beat the Packers on Christmas.
Yeah.
So I'm very confident about this team going forward.
Yeah, me too. Do you guys think that they're going to win a playoff game, though, based off what you've seen? I think it's tough. And I think it comes down to if we play someone in the AFC South, because I could sit here and gas it up and say, yeah, we're 100% built to win a playoff game. But I can't say that when our defense is dead last in the AFC. Because if we don't get lucky and we have to go to at Kansas City, at Buffalo, at Cincinnati, I want nothing to do with Cincinnati right now. Now, I know we can hang with any of those guys. We can hang with any of them. But in the playoffs, when you're playing an elite quarterback and your defense physically cannot get off the field on 3rd and 17 or drives that start with 1st and 17, it's a problem. And I can't sit here and guarantee a playoff win when our defense looks that bad.
Oh, I'm not guaranteeing a playoff win by any stretch of the imagination. You feed me someone from the AFC South in the first round, I'll feel great. I'll feel great about going into that game. If we got to go to AFC North, which looks like at this point it would be Cincinnati, not Baltimore, I'd be nervous, but I'd say, okay, we can go to Cincinnati, give them a game. Who knows? I'll call it a 50-50 coin flip. I feel similar about Buffalo, but I think Buffalo's the next level up. I mean, if we got to go to Kansas City, I don't feel great about that game. I don't want to go head-to-head with Mahomes in the playoffs. That's the scary one to me. We've seen it with the Bills now. We just did it. We went toe-to-toe with their atmosphere. The weather can't get worse. The atmosphere can't get worse. It was crazy in there. And we saw them go toe-to-toe. So that I can confidently say that I'm not scared of the Bills in that stretch of the imagination. But I'm also not saying we're going to go into Buffalo and kick their ass. It'd be a great game. So the only way I can say Dolphins are going to win a playoff game is if they go get that 5 seed. in my
This
opinion.
this is where I'm at, to be honest with you. I think it's a 50-50 game against the Bengals, against the Bills, against the Chiefs. I'm more confident against the Bengals than the other two teams, obviously. I feel like the Bills and Chiefs are on a
Wow,
different level.
that's
No, no,
crazy,
no, no, on a different level than
bro.
the Bills and Chiefs.
Burrow's him.
On a
Like
different level than the, I'm just saying.
I don't know what it is, but that dude just fucking wins.
He's got it.
I'm
He's
just
got that
saying.
Brady it.
But aren't you not more scared of the Bills and Chiefs? If you have to rank them, I'm saying compared to the Bills and Chiefs. I'm not just saying in general.
I think the Bills are better than the Bengals? Yes, but I'm more confident in the Dolphins playing the Bills than the Bengals.
Damn,
We've already played them twice. We know them.
I guess.
I'm more scared of the Bengals wide receivers than the Bills wide receivers. You know,
That's fair.
Yeah.
I like our matchup more against Buffalo. We've already seen them twice.
That's fair. To me,
It would feel nice to see. Go ahead.
No, I was just to finish my point. I think it's 50-50 with those three teams. But after that, I'm very confident. I think we go and beat any of those other AFC teams. Titans, Ravens, whoever, I think we'll win that game. Like I'd say like 70-30, 80-20, something like that. Obviously, against those top three teams, I'm going 50-50 in terms of who I think is going to win. But I love our chances against everyone else.
I don't know how people in the chat are saying the Bengals are frauds. That's they were down 17-3 and scored 24 unanswered points on the road against the Bucs defense. They're on, what have they won? 5 or 6 straight games.
Yeah, they're buzzing. I don't know what it is. Something
they're
like
on
that.
A heater. And look, I know Burrow had his struggles against the Browns, but like that's just like weird things. Shit like that happens. Like there's just weird teams that have your number, and they just beat the Browns. Not even a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Bengals are a good football
like
team.
shit. Like
the Bengals are the hottest team in the league right now. They're hot. They are red.
Lions are hot too.
Who?
The Lions are pretty hot.
The Lions are the Dolphins of last year. Lions are the Dolphins of last year.
Yep. And know what the crazy thing is? I looked for their Tennessee game, like our Tennessee game last year, like the reality check. Dude, they really don't have one.
Really?
Like their next 3 weeks are cake. Like I couldn't wait to like fade them, like thinking like they're gonna have the game where they come to reality. Dude, that schedule's ass. Like they might fuck around and win out.
Yeah,
hey, good. I hope they do make the playoffs. It makes our notch look a little nicer over them, right? Take it.
Yes,
and in regards to the Bengals, I would love that. I'm not saying that I'm confident and we'd go out and we beat them. I just love that matchup over again. I'd like to see the full 4 quarters, Tua and Burrow head to head. We got robbed of it last time with Tua getting hurt. I think it'd be an awesome game, bro. That's must-watch TV right there. But
got our first super chat of the day. Shout out my dog Carlos. Scared of Chiefs, but we can get to Burrow. D-line is lit. Thank you for the $5 super chat, brother. Look, I don't know if I misspoke earlier. I'm not scared of any team in the AFC. You know, like if we play Kansas City, it's not like I'm pissing down my pants like, oh, we can't win. If we play Buffalo, I'm definitely not pissing down my pants saying, oh, we can't win. I don't know how I could sit here and say and tell everyone when we just lost those 3 games that, yes, we are 100% going to win a playoff game this year. I can't do that. I'm not saying that we can't or that we won't. But if you asked me the question 2 weeks ago, I would tell you, yes, we would have won a fucking playoff game.
We'll ask you 3 weeks though. When we're on a 3-game heater.
Right. It's a week-to-week thing. It's a week-to-week thing, especially coming down the stretch. And I'm sure after we win the next 3 games, I'm going to sit here and tell you guys that we're going to win a fucking playoff game. I'm a fan. I'm not an analyst. Do not come here thinking you're going to get more football knowledge than you already have. I'm just a Dolphins fan that's passionate, that loves the game, that's giving you my opinion, and I'm blessed enough that you guys sit here and listen to us. But that's what it is. It's fucking week to week. And right now, I can't guarantee a playoff win. And I don't think anyone should guarantee a playoff win because we haven't fucking won one in 22 years.
It's facts. It's simple as that. I think that's
I will say from
like our goal was to win a playoff game. Like, well, it really was make the playoffs. And then we're like, well, this team's actually good. Let's fucking win one. But people forget the Bengals were 10-7. Made it to the Super Bowl. Like no one had them getting out of the. I thought they were going to lose to the Raiders in the wild card.
Wild card.
Yeah. I was just going to say from
they went on a heater.
You never know.
You just got to get hot.
That's why we need to win these last 3 games, not just for playoff sake. Obviously, playoff sake is everything, getting your seeds. But this team needs to just start rolling again with that momentum. Those vibes we had during that 5-game road streak or that 5-game win streak when everyone was lit, hype, happy. on top of the world. I know we ran into a tough schedule there, but now we got to get it back, man. 3 winnable games. We've talked about it so many times. Go win them, get your confidence back, and rear it up for the playoffs. That's where we're at this point.
Hey, chat, let me know. Everyone in the chat, comment yes or no. Do you think the Miami Dolphins will make the playoffs this year? Let me know what you guys think. Let us know in the chat. We got 136 people watching live. If you haven't already, please smash that like button. I have no idea where we're at, but I just know it's not enough. So please, please, please hit the like button. It is absolutely free. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you want to donate, you could super chat us or hit us up on Cash App or Venmo at Nikki Smokes One. So everyone in the chat, everyone in the chat is saying yes, 100%. Yes, 100%. And I'm right there with you. I do not see a reality where the Fins don't make the playoffs. And if they somehow don't make the playoffs, I will never forgive them. I will never, ever, ever, ever forgive them. Now, that doesn't mean I'll stop rooting for them, because that will never happen. I've already been here for 22 years. There's absolutely no shot I'm ever going anywhere. But I will have a permanent scar on my heart from the 2022 Miami Dolphins if they don't make the playoffs.
1,000%. I'd never be able to forgive this individual team, like this year's team. Like you said, the Dolphins shit runs blood deep. Like, it'll be Dolphins when I'm 97 and can't get out of bed.
Like, if I wanted to quit, I would have quit 10 years ago.
Exactly. And it will forever be that way. But this specific team, it would be the biggest letdown I've had as a fan in my entire life.
Easily.
But I don't even want to get that negative. I can't do that.
Just a simple question.
That's doomsday scenario, though. That's like, we make a lot of bleach drinking jokes here. I might be ordering a round of shots for the house. Yeah.
Well, the Dolphins can clinch before week 18. If the Jets lose Thursday night and if the Patriots lose and the Fins win, I'm 90% sure we're in. Now, don't quote me verbatim, but look it up, right. And I'm almost positive that the Fins can clinch before week 18. No, they have to beat the Packers and the Patriots.
Yeah. And the Jets lose. Yeah.
Yeah.
This might sound crazy. I'm very not worried about making the playoffs. To me, it's about getting the win. But I don't know what it is. I just think we're gonna make the playoffs. Like, that's just where I'm at. At least in my headspace. I'm just being honest with you. I'm just being so honest with you. I think we're gonna win out. And even if we don't win out, I still think we're definitely winning too. I do think we're gonna win out, like, heavily. I just think making the playoffs, like, just in my brain, like, that's where I'm at. We're making the playoffs, and now it's about getting that win. At least for me.
I agree with you, Jay, and I wish I could bring myself to that point. But as a Dolphins fan, I'm just trying not to be that vulnerable, man.
I know.
If I put everything in saying we're made the playoffs, all that matters is who we playing.
I know.
I just know how bad that pain could be.
But if you asked me last year, I feel that.
Like, in the back of my head, that's right there. But I just can't. I can't come out and say that and do that right now. I need to see him do it for me first, man.
I'm with you, because, like, I would not, like, trust me, even against the Titans, I would not have told you, like, oh my God, like, for sure. There's just something about this where I just can't see us missing the playoffs. I can't see it. Even if we don't play that good, I still just think we'll sneak our way in, which is not the way I want to go in, is like sneaking our way in, just like
you don't want to be the Patriots of last year.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to do that
and get blown out by 50.
But, like, even to me, that's the worst case scenario is we squeak in. I just can't. There's just no world, especially with the matchups that are going on in the NFL, especially with the 2 losses yesterday from the Patriots and the Jets. I just can't see us missing.
Yeah. I agree. Just knock on some wood or something for me real quick.
Shout out my dog Terry for the $20 super chat. Thank you, brother. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you and yours, Terry. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate that. It goes a long, long way for the channel. God bless you, Terry. Thank you so much. Hey, another one. Shout out Hunter. $5 for the content. We appreciate that, family. Thank you. You guys are absolutely lighting it up today. Thank you guys so much. Oh, we love you guys. Thank you. I think I just put it back up. I don't know. Maybe not. Here we go again. Hold on, Bobby. Save that thought. Because I want to say one last thing about the playoffs.
You're good.
We control our destiny yet again. Last year, it sounded like Mission Impossible. Still could have did it, though, and beat the Titans and got in. The year before that, who'd we choke to? The Bills, but the game before that was – no, that was last year. Who'd we choke to in 2020?
The Titans. Or no, you're talking about the Bills. Bills in that last game, we choked.
No, 2020, we choked to the Bills the last game.
Yes, and then last year was the Titans.
2 through 3 picks, and then last year was the Tennessee game. So this is the 3rd year in a row where the Dolphins control their own destiny. Are they going to actually do it and get the job done and get in? Or are they going to sit there and be the same old Dolphins? That's what the question is. And we're going to get our answer over the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, and I mean, I know I said, Jay, like, calm down a little bit, pump the brakes, but I mean, if you look at the percentages, it is like, this isn't like a coin flip. Maybe the Dolphins get in, maybe they don't. It is like 75% or something around there. I know the numbers are
I think
changing
it's
all the
even
time.
higher now because the Jets and Patriots lost.
It might be. I haven't been keeping up with it. It definitely, the Dolphins lost this week, and somehow our chances to get in the playoffs got better. You don't see that happen very
Well,
often.
dude, all those teams would have been 8-6. They all lost. They all lost. We wouldn't even be in the playoffs right now if they had won. We'd be out of the playoff picture.
So thankful to them. But yeah, I mean, we should get in. We should get in, but we'll see how it plays out. But one thing I just wanted to say real quick, just going back to the Bills game, is we're setting ourselves up to have a fucking legit rivalry. And I'm talking best rivalry in the NFL. Because they've had our number for a few years now. And back in the day, we had their number for a few. Everyone can go through their history books and see how it's gone. But it is exciting to have a little bit of a fucking rivalry because those are two goddamn good football teams, two young quarterbacks. It should be a matchup for years to come, and that excites me because usually when I have to get tickets to Dolphins-Bills games in Buffalo, it's like, do I even want to go watch this game? Because I might just be miserable the entire time. Now, that's must-watch TV. Dolphins-Bills, there might not be a better matchup in the NFL than those two going head-to-head. So I just had to fit that in somewhere.
No, I was going to say, shout out to Josh. He said this a while ago. I scrolled up to find it just to give him some credit here. He said, I've said it before. Bills and Fins are very similar. Only difference is we're a bit further along in the journey and have Allen in his prime. Going to be a few years, might be a rivalry soon. And I agree, man. This is going to be a huge rivalry because, bro, both
Did
games
he end it with might be a rivalry soon?
Or might become a rivalry soon.
Yeah, I resent that statement then. I resent the whole statement. Jay gave you a compliment for the good compliment or for the good comment.
I didn't get that far.
Back.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, we're already a rivalry now. Like, shit.
Yeah. Taking it back.
Now, look, to be fair, it's a rivalry. It's a rivalry this year alone. It's been a rivalry this year alone. But before, it really hasn't been. So as of this year, yes, it's a rivalry. But everything else he said is true because the 2018 Bills team is kind of like the Fins. You know, like young team, built, good players, Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
Josh Allen didn't hit his stride yet, but he was right there. And then 2019, 2020, the rest is history. There's a lot of truth to that statement.
No, there is. I'm just
but it as of right now, I would say it's a rivalry. Now it's a short sample size, obviously, but if you want to look back at the Dolphins teams from the last 3 to 4 years and compare them, it's not even close. I mean, one of them was a 2019 tank year. The other one, I think we actually won it. No, was that 2018 or 2020 when Charles Clay dropped it in the end zone? I'm trying to remember.
Charles Clay, that's time ago.
Yeah, that's a minute ago. But yeah, I mean, it's becoming a rivalry again, and I think
Charles
it's
Clay.
If we play him in the playoffs, it's back. I think it's already back. But like that's confirmed. That might be the playoff game, like the NFL's dream, is the third game between the Fins and the Bills, or Tyreek versus the Chiefs. I don't know. Both of those are great storylines.
There's some storylines to be sold there. I mean, the Dolphins are a fun team. They're an easy team for the NFL to go out and sell. An easy team because everyone's got a fucking opinion. Whether you just like football and want to watch some entertaining football, or if you're just a troll loser who hates Tua no matter what he does. It goes both ways and good. I'm here for it. I love it. Keep us there. It's awesome. It's great. Now let's go out and actually win some football games, make the playoffs, and take care of business. And I could care less about how they have to sell the game.
Bobby, I have to ask, how do you look in real life, Tua? Just like, what was your thoughts on the game when you saw him in real life and then after when you rewatched it?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Tua. This is the third game I've been to this year. So, I mean, I thought Tua looked good. The whole time I was sitting there, I thought Tua looked good. I was frustrated with the defense for most of the time because I felt like third downs, they couldn't get off the field, where it was just get one stop, get off the field, we're good to go. That wasn't happening. I thought the offense was humming along, though. Some of those, like the Braylon Sanders play, I couldn't tell what happened in real life. It looked like an overthrow. When you go back and watch it, you could see if he runs the route, he gets there. The throw to Sherfield, I thought that looked low in real life. It was a perfect throw. You got to throw it low there so he doesn't get killed by the defender. So just little things like that, getting back and watching the full picture, it's like, oh, shit, yeah, that did happen. But, I mean, it was great. It was electric in there. It was awesome. My favorite part was before the game, I was I went down low watching warm-ups. And, like, not a ton of the star flashy guys were near me, but Connor Williams was just there taking snaps. And I was just screaming, you snap that ball, Connor! You snap that ball, baby! Just screaming. It was great, man. I fucking love going to games. Who doesn't? You get your boys up here in January.
What was the snowball like?
Yo, that was wild.
So, snowball, dude, when that second drive,
They
It
got
looked like
drilled.
the Buddy the Elf scene. They were pelting Tyreek, everyone in the fucking face with those snowballs. How was that?
I mean, bro, they threw the first bunch of snowballs, and then all of a sudden on the jumbotron, they pumped the huge fucking message that was like, if you continue to throw snowballs, you will be removed from the stadium, arrested, and the Bills will be assessed a 15-yard penalty. And they would get on the announcement and announce it like once every 10 minutes, and as soon as they would say it, more snowballs. They were just inciting the snowballs. It was just like it would calm down a little bit. A play would happen, I'd get it, a couple snowballs, then they'd be like, no more snowballs. Well, you tell someone no, what are they gonna do? They're gonna keep throwing.
It's like when your mom like tells you not to touch the stove. What do you want to do? You want to go
exactly.
Like always when you're a kid, like, you want to go touch the stove.
But I'll never hate on that. I won't hate on that type of shit, bro.
I loved it. I
that's
thought
awesome.
The snowballs was great. I was loving that. I was loving that.
If we had snow in Miami and there was games like that, you're damn straight they'd be throwing the snowballs on the field in Miami too. Every field would be. Agreed.
The only issue was
EBS, the boy.
Yes, sir. The only issue for me, and this has nothing to do with like my fandom, because I'm with you guys. It's just like for like the trainers on the side who have no gear on. It's like fuck if they get nailed, bro, they're murked. I will say though, from like a fan perspective, I'm not gonna lie. Other than it being like, I loved it. Like it was so fun just seeing
we got 15 yards because of it. I loved
ridiculous.
it. I loved it.
Yeah. By the way, really quick, just to throw it back to what we were saying at the beginning of the game when we were just talking about McDaniel and his woes, something just like popped in my brain. This guy needs to get the play into Tua way earlier. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Yes, bro. We're still like not lining up on time, still not getting out of the huddle efficiently enough. Can we talk about Tyreek Hill's motion? Dude, it's like I'm watching ping pong. I'm like this before every Dude, I've never seen anything like it. And then they'll hand the ball off. It's unbelievable.
That's a perfect point, because there was a play where McDaniel got the play in so late where you can see Tua want to go for Tyreek to motion, but there's not enough time, so you just go, stay there. Just stay there. I'm just going to stop this ball. So McDaniel has to get the plays in earlier, because you can tell that, like, obviously quarterbacks, they want to go quickly, so they have time to read the defense and all that type of stuff, so that the offensive line has time to get set, so they can read what they're looking at from the defensive line perspective. It just feels like we're not getting enough time, and that's on McDaniel too. That's just something else.
Timeouts. We
pissing away timeouts. Get the play calling way quicker. You have to.
I think that's valid. Very valid.
Year one growing pains with the new head coach. Nothing else you could do about it. 172 people watching live. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. It is absolutely free. If you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe. We're almost at 5K subs. The only way we could do that is if you guys hit the like button. Both of those things are absolutely free. They cost you nothing, and it'll go a long, long way for this channel. And if you guys want to help support the channel, you could super chat us, or you could hit us up on Cash App or Venmo at Nikki Smokes 1. So, got that done. Talked about the Bills fans throwing their snowballs. Do you guys have any closing remarks for this Bills game? Let's just wrap it all up, get everything out, and move on with our day.
I want them again, and I might regret those words. Those words might come back to haunt me, but I want them again. The season series right now, I believe, is 50 points to 51 points. It doesn't get any closer than that. Both games have been fucking electric. It will be in Buffalo, so I'll be able to go, no questions asked. I want the Bills again. Great game.
If the Dolphins play the Bills in the playoffs, I give you my word, right hand to God, I will be at that game. I'll be at the first playoff game anyway, because I am going to every single playoff game until I witness us win one. So regardless of where they're playing, I will 1,000,000% be there.
You might have to stay home at one point though if we keep losing though. Like at some point you gotta miss it.
I can't. I'm sorry. They're gonna have to get over that. They're gonna have to fucking figure it out. I'm not
break the smoke curse.
Yeah, they gotta figure it out, bro. I ain't missing.
I'll tell you what.
Do you know your all-time record at Dolphins games? Because you've been to way
I've
more.
had season tickets since I was like 2 years old, so
it's way too many. Then.
But I know my record in the playoffs. I'm 0-2.
Must be 2.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing for a fact. This Wednesday's show will not be called Wash It Wednesday.
Nope.
That's a fucking bad luck of a title episode. We'll have to come up with something else new and creative because it's been 0 for 3 or 0 for 2 or whatever it's been. So no more Wash It Wednesday this week. Nothing.
No, and I'm on the same page with Bobby. Give me Buffalo. Give me Buffalo in the playoffs. I want them. I think it's gonna be a great game again. But we're 1-1 right now. People forget we won the first game. Like, now we're just 1-1. They should even up the playing field. I want them. So with that being said, like, let's get them in the playoffs. Let's go to the AFC Championship. Imagine that type of game. Bills, Dolphins. Woo-wee. And imagine we
Dream
take
of
that game
that.
off.
Final
That's my
thoughts.
closing
Final
remarks.
thoughts.
I want
Final
Buffalo.
thoughts. Look, it's a game we had in our hands. A game we probably should have won. A game where if you run the ball on 3rd and 1, you sweep the big, bad Bills. And we had it right there in their conditions, in their own house. Let it slip away. But I would be lying to you if that didn't give me confidence going forward for the next 3 games. And I know moral victories do not count, but after what I saw the 2 weeks before, I thought this team was out for the count. I have new life. I think we're right fucking here. Everything that we want is right in front of us. And all you got to do is win 2 out of the next 3. I believe the Finns get it done. I believe they get into the playoffs. And if the matchup's right, they could win a playoff game.
Even if the matchup's wrong, they can win that bitch, baby.
And that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted going into this year. And Jay made a great point earlier. You know, a lot of us, we love the McDaniel hire, but we really didn't know what we were getting out of him. You know, like it could have been an absolute disaster. And if the only thing he's fucking up right now in his first year is his time management and throwing the ball on 3rd and 1, those are both very fixable things. The offense is extremely explosive. Like most entertaining offense I've ever seen.
Most yards per game, I'm pretty sure. I
think he is by far the best coach that we've had in the last 3 to 4 years. Now, obviously, we need a lot more time to tell. But as of right now, if he gets us in and if we win a playoff game,
blank check.
Anything else above that blank check is just icing on the cake. So I'm very fired up. So
you want us a playoff game? Woo.
With that, we will wrap it up. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Thank you to everyone that donated today. You guys absolutely killed it. We love you guys so much. So blessed, so thankful to have you guys for an hour. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Share it with some friends. Clip some clips. Throw it on Twitter. Support the channel. We can't grow without you guys. We absolutely love you so much. We will see you on Wednesday at 5 p.m. And we're going to open up the panel. That's going to be our new thing. Wednesday, we're going to let fans come on here and talk with us on Wednesday. So no more Wash It Wednesday. We'll call it Panel Wednesday. We'll see you guys live on Wednesday right here on The Smoke Show at 5 p.m. Fins up.
They're getting a little more up right now, baby.
They're back. The dorsal fin.